All right, we are recording. Um, I hope everyone is having a great Monday night. I'm super excited to be joining you guys tonight and talking about locals and gatherings. You know, Amber and I, like I said, we were traveling to the Woodlands to see Lydia Laws and her team and some of our other team members down in the Woodlands. Paul was there for a local, and we were just talking about the benefit of doing locals and gatherings and living room locals and just kind of that getting together with that community vibe, you know. And I was telling Amber, I was like, you know, what's crazy to me is so many people have been here for a while and they're like scared to death to do a local, or they're like, I've never done one, or I don't have leadership in my town. Guys, when I signed up, I didn't even know what a local was, but I remember reaching out to Amber going, hey, I'm inviting a bunch of people to my house. Could you come over? I mean, I was just ready. And within 2 weeks of signing up as a promoter, I had a living room local at my house and didn't even know that's what it was called, because I just wanted to get as many of my friends in a room, because I knew instead of calling them one-on-one, if I could get 10 to 15 people in a room and talk to them all at one time, and then us share about, you know, what Thrive's doing for us and what our friends that are there that aren't thriving, what they're hoping Thrive will help them with. It was just such a great way, and people were ordering before they were even leaving my house. And that's what I did within my first 2 weeks. So Lydia and I think Chas may even chime in a little bit, and Natasha, we're just going to talk about the benefits of doing these gatherings and also how to do them. You don't need to overthink it. It can be super simple. You know, Lydia, I think what is so great with her is, you know, she does her locals very consistently with her team. And I have watched them grow from just a few people to now they fill a room. We had well over 100 people packed in that room, in that tiny little restaurant room last week. So Lydia, I'm going to kind of kick it off to you first, because I want you to talk about, you know, you plan it. I mean, you put it on your calendar. You know you're having a local. Your team knows. And it's not just the Woodlands. You have, you know, Brenham, and you have all these areas where they do locals consistently. And it's not always necessarily out of place, but I know I've come down there when we've done them in people's homes. So I just kind of want you to talk about that and what those mean for y'all and what it does for your team.
And yes, hi guys. So I'm excited to jump on here and chat with y'all a little bit. And I do have to agree with Missy. I think a lot of people are scared to kind of take that leap and do a local because, you know, you think it has to be so big and so huge and all this product and all this stuff. And I even, you know, noticed in the swap that some people were saying, well, I don't have product to give away, or you don't need any of that. You know, it can just be simple. And, you know, when I started this business, you know, Missy is my direct upline and lives in Dallas. I'm in Houston. And so it wasn't feasible for us to get together every, you know, other weekend to have an event. So when I hit 4K, I was kind of like, okay, it's time to take that leap. It's time to be a leader, and it's kind of time to do this. And, you know, at that point, guys, like there's a few different options you can do. You know, you can do one just at your home. I've had, you know, Melanie out of Brenham. That's how we started. That's how we built her 80K team, is literally from her living room, and it broadened from there. And we have it at little restaurants in Brenham, Texas. There's like two that you can choose from, and you know, they have a room and we fill it. Same with Belleville, you know, with Tracy. Belleville's another little area out there, and I mean, they've got this one Mexican restaurant that has this massive room in this little bitty town, and we just get people there. And you know, the starting point is just picking the date and planning it. We're usually planning a local weeks in advance. So like here we are going into December. Yes, it's a holiday week, but I'm already looking at my month of December going, okay, where are my locals going to be? Where are my Christmas events going to be? And we've already got those drumming in our heads, and it's not even December yet. So we're already planning into that, and we just finished the other one last week with Paul. So it's nonstop. We just pick the date, and we're planning ahead to make it less stressful. What I will tell you is that belly-to-belly interaction, you cannot replace from social media, period, end of story. That is how I have built connections with my team in other areas. You know, this is a people business, and there's something about, you keep hearing building relationships. And guys, if you're not getting belly to belly to people and you're just in front of a camera all the time or behind a screen, you're not going to have that connection like you would with somebody that you can get close to. Other options, I had other people mention, well, gosh, my leader's not here. I can't really do it because they're not here. Guys, that's where technology is amazing. We have a team in California. We weren't physically able to get there when they first started. So what was happening is 40K, 80K leaders were FaceTiming into their events every single month. And it literally took their volume from 0 to 20,000 in sales, but they were planning the event and they were FaceTiming leaders in. It's just a matter of you taking that step, planning, taking that leadership role and planning something. And even if it starts in your home and you have somebody FaceTime in on your TV, I've had people do that. They've had me on their television in their living room. Really, and I think overall, Mitzi, what it's done for my team is that sense of unity, that sense of family, and getting to know those team members, because this is the thing. I mean, life happens in this business. This is a people business. And when that happens, if you know your team, if you have a connection with them more than just a phone call that was 5 months ago, you're able to step in and not only be that friend, but be that leader to help that team grow. And I've had to do that so many times within my organization when things have happened and leaders legit had to kind of step back a second because they had life slap them in the face times 20. And I knew those people. I was able to step in and help because I'd hug their necks. I'd talked to them. I had learned what their families were about, who they were, what their goals were. And just having that belly to belly, we need that, y'all. Like, look at it as girl time. And I know now this is, and I love that Amber launched that fun promo for the team. If y'all haven't seen it, you need to tune into the team pages about the Christmas stuff. I mean, guys, we were talking about that with my leaders like 2 days before she launched that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, she just read my mind. We're so going to do this. So we're planning, like, I'm trying to get my house decorated for Christmas. I'm going to have a little Christmas gathering, and we're not going to like throw Thrive in their face, but we're definitely going to have candy cane lifestyle mix, and we're going to, maybe have a couple of fun games and have some of our newer team members that are in the area have a place where they can invite friends and learn about Thrive. So it doesn't have to be like this by the book local, like you can have fun with it. And I think Christmas is a special time to do that. So I don't know, Mitzi, is there something else that I don't want to take up too much time?
No, I love that. And I'm going to let Natasha jump in here in just a little bit. But guys, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, I have people on my team doing mimosas and masks. They're just inviting their girls over to have a facial, to drink mimosas on a Saturday morning. I know for me, I know this sounds silly, but like Lisa said here in the chat, she's like, don't overthink it. Make some tacos, invite some friends over, have some product on your coffee table. Guys, I don't know about you, but I have Boost and Blast. I have a lot of my products in these really pretty clear jars on my kitchen counter. So when I have people even coming in my house, repairmen or just friends that we invite over, people see that and they're like, what is that? Just having that open invitingness to allow people to open up and ask questions and stuff. But you can do, the thing that Maria launched today, I think is a brilliant idea. And we'll talk a little bit about that. Just getting that camaraderie of your team together, having people come over to package Thanksgiving meals or whatever. That's what the community and your team is all about, and that is what you can invite your neighbors to and your friends that aren't thriving, that they can get to be around you guys and see that you're not just trying to sell them a product. You truly do care and you want to be involved in your community. I mean, I know for a fact when I went to the Woodlands, there were at least 3 people there that have only known me on social media who are brand new to this company. I'm talking less than probably 3 or 4 weeks. And at first they were kind of standoffish, but then after the local, we sat down, we had dinner, we're all talking about kids and everything else. And by the end of it, they were like, what's your name again? Where can I find you on Facebook? It was so nice to meet you. Like, just that hanging out and getting to meet me in person and realizing, hey, I know this is some person, I don't even know what a 200K is, but I've seen her on Facebook, but she's like a cool, just thriving mom who wanted to feel better. Now I've met her in person. I really like her and I want to be a part of this fun team. So I'm going to throw it over either Chas or Natasha to kind of give their thoughts on these things.
Chas, you want to go? Or I can. Yeah, if that'd be great. So I'm kind of in the middle of a craft project, but I love what Lydia was saying about the connection, having that connection with your team. So guys, when I started, I went to a local, I hadn't been in the business very long. And then I came home and literally had over 300 people at, well, we weren't calling it locals. Maybe we were. I don't even know what we were calling it back then.
I don't think we had a name for it.
Yeah, I don't. And it blew my mind. But the thing was, is that I was making relationships and I knew people that needed this product. So that is very, very uncommon. So if I can just be a little transparent with you guys, starting out, a lot of people are like, well, I have to have 1,000 people. Well, for me, having that many people at my first local, unofficially, that's what it was called, and then it weeding down gradually over the years, guys, it's been hard for me just because I lead a very large organization. That doesn't mean that everybody wants to show up all the time. So, for months I was doing, locals, and I'm calling them that. That's not what we called them then, but locals and Thrive After Fives and trainings and all of these things. And we would feel like little pizza places. It got down to where 300 people were excited and nosy and wanted to know what it was about, to about 10 or 15 core people that, whether they were, promoters or they were people that were interested. And I'm going to tell you, if you feel like, hey, I don't have, a leader in my area, maybe your house isn't just where you're comfortable bringing people in. Maybe you live with family or something like that. I know we personally, Lydia and I are sidelined, but we had team at her local. Find things in your area, and then that what she said about broadcasting people in, that's genius. There is no limitation. You can literally, if you don't feel comfortable with your home, heck, you can go to a Starbucks and have your friends gather around. Girls will meet up for coffee in Starbucks, and then you can tell them how they can, don't have to spend all that money tomorrow, the very next day. So you can get people together. But as I was saying, it gets really hard to start something and then continue it. So for me, this last year of 2019, I've really had to build new relationships. I've had to get out there. I've talked about, meeting my neighbors and getting to the point where my neighbors can trust me. I've already got an outline for 2020. We're going to do Taco and Opportunity Tuesday. And it's something that, we have a place that we can bring people in. And I have made brand new relationships where I can say, you know what? Hey, Janie, I know that, you guys were in my community group for 4 weeks and we've been hanging out. And I know you mentioned that you want to travel more. I know you saw that I do this Thrive thing and they send us on 3 vacations a year. I'm feeding you tacos on Tuesday. Come hang out and let's talk a little bit. So I'm changing up the game of what I'm doing in 2020. I'm right now in the middle of planning something for Christmas for my team. A lot of my time is spent broadcasting in, attending trainings or attending locals with my team, but I had to reel it back in, guys, and I had to refocus on what was working in the beginning. And, proof of, we can't depend on living behind a screen. Look what Facebook has done to us. They're not letting us bring our friends in live. We're having to find other apps and other ways to do that now. And so, we have to have that belly to belly, that face-to-face connection. The thing that a face-to-face event does more for people, when I bring people into my home, whether it's a leadership retreat or, anything like that, they realize I'm human. I am a normal person just like them. They get to see us interacting. They get to see me, that I really eat food and I really, do all the things. And so it's just that human engagement, and people feel like they can go deeper with you. And like Lydia said, I couldn't have said it better. I have people that they may leave a brand, they may leave an opportunity, but they're more committed to the community, and they don't want to leave because they are so connected. And I even have people, and Natasha can attest to this, that are messaging me right now saying, what happens if you're homesick? What happens if you're missing your community? I'm like, come on back home. That's because we built relationships. We weren't just a face behind the camera. So get together. We can have all the excuses. I had to get over my excuses, and I had to say, where is my obstacles? Where are my gaps and lacks? I wasn't being able to fill room with anything but promoters. So I transitioned that into trainings until I could. And guys, it took me a year. It took me this last 2019 of rebuilding relationships that I can literally say, every Tuesday, my family, hey, we're having tacos, whether y'all like them or not. And on Tuesdays, we're going to have an opportunity event. And hey, if it's not for you, if you know some friends, I'm going to be posting it in my local community pages. I'm going to be posting it in my local neighborhood pages. I'm going to spend some more time at home, meaning in my local area. And again, if I were in a situation where all I had was my living room, I still have the opportunity to broadcast, Zoom my leader in and say, hey, can you just share your story? And another thing that I love, and then I'm going to quit talking, is I love to bring other leaders in. If I was going to have a local, and maybe I wasn't going to have a whole bunch of people, I was just going to have a few people, I might invite Natasha and Lydia and Mitzi and Amber and let all 5 of them come on live to share their story, because my audience has no experience, they have no exposure, or maybe they're just my friends that I begged and bribed with a night of wine. These right now, the holiday seasons, I said I was gonna be quiet. Holiday season, guys, paint parties, get people together, do things together, and just say, hey, I'm having a paint party. It's $10 to cover your expenses, and it's powered by Thrive. And that way you can do, you can do blast, you can do circulate, you can blend up some peppermint shakes, you can do things like that. So get people together. They want to be together during the holiday season. I know we're not a party company, but people like to party in the holidays. So do it, get people together, and don't miss an opportunity. And hey, don't get discouraged, because I've been there, like I said, just in the last year, but I couldn't stay there. I couldn't stay stuck. I had to reevaluate and go, okay, what am I missing? And the truth of the matter is that I had to go out and find new community and find new people, still loving on my legacy thrivers, but going out and finding new people that are ready and want what I have my hands on. Tosh, I'll hand it to you.
Awesome. All right. I was trying to make sure I'm not going to cough on you, like dry throat crazy here in Michigan. It's so cold. And I know you guys in Texas say it's cold. It's nowhere near what we got here. And I'm not complaining, because Canada's even colder. So I want to talk a little bit on, they talked about getting people in there, not being afraid to do these locals. The one thing I'll say add to that is do it scared. If you truly want to help people live the life they deserve, you got to do things that scare the living shit out of you. And doing a local scared me, because I'm like, I don't even know what to do. I don't even know what to say. And Chas like, well, 1, 2, 3, and some stories. Like, we didn't even talk about the opportunity, you guys, until we started getting comfortable talking about that. We just did what we knew would get the ball rolling. And that was create an event, invite people, and talk about the product, because the product was truly why we all were there and why we clicked that promoter button. And then we talked about that too, but we started where we were comfortable, but still scared. And, it grew. And that's the thing. Somebody posted, we're not getting anyone new. Consistency will always win. If you do one local and you don't do another one, you'll never grow. No one new will come. But if you do one and then you do another and then you do another, at least every month, do at least one, people will come. And the thing I'll tell you too is it's not always about, is there new people coming? Because what I find is just getting in a room with like-minded individuals is fun. It increases the energy within those people and yourself, which increases growth, because when you feel good and you're excited and you're having fun, you're going to talk in that more excited, fun, confident voice. And you're going to close the deal with those people you're talking to that didn't come to the event, but you followed up with them. So I want to talk a little bit about inviting and follow up, if that's cool. So a lot of people, I'm just going to say 98% of people, because I get invited to events every single day. And all they're doing is creating a public event on Facebook and clicking invite, and hoping that Facebook does the job for them. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm kind of picky with my time. And if I'm just getting a click invite, that event is very low on my priority list, because that person didn't take enough time to even just message me and say, hey, I'm having this event. I would love for you to be there. I haven't seen you in forever. It'd be an awesome night. All that right there, that simple voice message gets me to going and put it on my personal calendar. And it doesn't take much to do that. And I can tell you 98% of people on Facebook do not do that part. And so I don't go to a whole lot of events that I'm invited to. So when you create your event, make sure it's public so people can share it, unless it's at your home. If it's at your home, obviously don't do it public. You don't want your address out there. But if you're doing it at a restaurant or a local place, definitely do it public. Invite people through that click button, but make sure you do the most important part in sending them a message that truly comes from you, your voice, saying, I just invited you to this event. I'd love to see you. We haven't chatted in forever. It'll be a great night out. Don't go into detail. Don't give them all the spiel, because that's what you're going to do at the event. But you want them to come because you want them to have a great night out. I like to do a personal reach out with voice message. And if they're in my phone, they're a personal contact, I have their phone number, I call them. You guys, we have lost the touch of that personal connection, that communication. And I'm telling you, if you want to stand out and you want to be known and you want to succeed, you've got to find a way to stand out, and using your voice is going to do that for you, for sure. And then we all do this event, right? Everybody goes to this event. We either have all Thrivers or we have one new person, and then they feel really weird and they want to go hide and leave the event. Or we have a whole room of new people. It's always going to be different. And the cool thing is no matter who shows up or who doesn't show up, you still show up and have fun. You get together with like-minded people. You change some lives, or you hear the stories of people that you were part of their change. You said yes, which allowed them to say yes, right? When you hear those stories, it gets you into a state of just gratitude. And so after an event, I will always follow up with every single person I reached out to invite them to. And I follow up with a simple message. And I'll do it the very next day. And I simply just say, hey, I missed you at the event last night. It was an incredible night. We had so much fun. I'd love to connect and catch up. When are you able to chat for a few minutes? That's it, you guys. It's just a follow-up. That creates that communication that no one will do but you, because you want to stand out and you truly want to help people live the life they deserve. So I believe events are how we grew, how we had insane momentum, how we continue to grow. Me personally, I'm at least 4 to 6 events a month. And so, do you have to do that? No, but I want people to succeed. I want people to feel amazing. And so I'll continue to schedule these events, ask people to come and share their story, and fill the room with as many people as we can by intentionally inviting and then following up with those that didn't come. So I'm going to turn it back over to you, Mitzi.
Thank you. And your Christmas tree is beautiful right behind you.
Thanks. It's second season. It's a pre-lit and the lights don't work. Great.
Awesome. Oh goodness. Well, it's funny. When I was talking about this, or when I was listening to y'all, I was thinking about one of my new Thrivers and how this is why you can't just do one thing and only do one thing. And this is why you can't just invite one time and only invite one time. And this is why you can't just do one local and only do one local. Because I have a friend that I just met about a year ago, and we became friends and last December. And then probably in February or March, we got to that point in our friendship where I introduced her to Thrive and got her a sample. And then 5 months later, I said again, after asking her a bazillion times, because I was in person with her, because I texted her, but I was in person with her, and I was like, do you still have that Thrive sample I gave you? And she was like, yes, blah, blah, blah. So long story short, she finally ended up taking the product. She loved it. So guess what? In her first 2 weeks, I got her to a local. And she liked the local and was like, wow, the stories, yada, yada. And then just this past weekend, her and I took our kids to College Station to watch an Aggie volleyball game because all of our girls play volleyball. And because of our awesome community, 2 of my Thrivers who I met because of Thrive on Lydia's team, Melanie, who lives in Brenham, who she was talking about doing the locals, met us at Bluebell because that's right by College Station. And my friend, Andrea, asked Melanie and Tracy, she was like, so do y'all Thrive? And again, this is that belly to belly meeting. She had already been to a local. She's seen me sharing stories on Facebook. She knows who I am. We hang out and talk all the time now. She sat there and talked to these 2 strangers about their Thrive experience, showing me their pictures, trying to sell me on Thrive, going, have you seen these? I'm like, girl, they're on my team. Of course I've seen them. Like, they've met us here because we are friends now. And she could not shut up about it. And she, guess what? The next day got 2 new orders. Her first 2 new orders. She's like, girl, I've got to promote this. I have to share this with people. And I'm like, I have taken you to a local. You shared with stuff on Facebook. You watch me, but that's why you have to keep doing the things. You don't do them just once with one person and stop because they didn't come or because they didn't seem super excited about this or you think they're seeing you share. And y'all, again, she was already thriving, but she wasn't ready to really jump in and promote or share until she talked to these people belly to belly, and that's why you've got to go to these events, host events at your house, let people hear, and don't think because you had one that wasn't successful, you can't do another one. You have to keep doing them. I have watched teams start with small gatherings and grow from 2 people a month that now are getting 30 to 40 people in a room. So don't be scared to just take that leap. We can help y'all with that. Your upline leadership can help y'all with that. The online parties are great, but we're talking about that real belly to belly, meet people, be able to hug them, them really see and hear the excitement on your face. And it can be simple. I'm telling you, that local we had with Paul, the CEO of the company, we were boom, boom, boom. This is what Thrive is. Here's 10 fast stories they shared for 60 to 90 seconds. Here's the opportunity real quick. And then Paul talks. Like, it doesn't have to be overly complicated. Another thing that we're doing, and I want to mention to all you guys on here that live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, Amber is throwing a thriving Christmas party. And it's not necessarily going to be a local, but we are bringing our community together and we are benefiting the Safe Haven. It's a battered woman shelter here. We're having people bring items that are on their wish list. We're making it a community charity event. It's going to be amazing. But at the same time, we are going to take a few minutes to talk about why we're grateful about Thrive, how it's allowing us to do parties like this, how it's brought people like Amber and I together who never would have met if it wasn't for Thrive, and letting people in on our lifestyle. Let me tell you something. I have, ever since thriving or starting Thrive, I have gotten toxic people out of my life. Why? Because I have made so many new friends with Thrive and so many people that I consider family now because we are like-minded. We are positive thinkers. We don't want to bring each other down. We want to lift each other up. We want to better our community. We want better for our children and our families. And so I literally have all these people in my life now because of Thrive. And we want to show people what they can have. So many people, especially around the holidays, if they don't have that in their lives, they're craving that. They want to be around people that they know truly care about them. And so you can do these social events, and now is the best time because you can find a local, shelter that you can help, whether it's for pets or Toys for Tots or whatever it is, and bring your community together and show them what thriving truly means, that it's not just about a product. So I, again, want to encourage you, if you're in the Fort Worth area, to make sure you're tuned into our Thriving Christmas Social that we're doing. Amber is going to be putting up her, she had messaged me that she hadn't put up her contest in the cloud yet, but it is about doing a holiday event. So we want to make sure that you are in on getting her promos that she's doing. Amber, are you still on here? I don't know if you want to throw anything. You weren't really scheduled to speak on this Zoom, but if you want to throw anything about locals and gatherings, feel free, or Lydia, if you want to jump back in.
Hey, go ahead. Okay. All right. Hi. I'm about to get in the hot tub, but I have to be all bundled up to go outside because it's chilly. But yes, that is up in the cloud office. And that's the thing, is that we want to remind you that it doesn't have to be some detailed thing. We've never been about meetings. Like the very first local that I went to, that Chas went to, it was just fun. It was fun. It was informative. The stories were amazing, and the other reason, like for me, the reason that locals are so important is because, well, let me say it again. The reason getting people that you wouldn't even think about getting to locals is so important is because my personal story, my husband, he was skeptical. He was skeptical when I ordered it. He was skeptical even when Thrive was making a difference in his life. He was skeptical when we were making money on it. He true story, he says. He was skeptical. But I was invited to speak in July at a local where Paul Gravett was going to be. There was 400 people in that room. I was nervous as all get out, even though I'd done other locals, but I was like, oh my gosh, I'm speaking and Paul's going to be there. Mari's going to be there. Everybody's going to be there. And I'm so nervous. I said, will you please go with me and just support me? And so he went with me to support me. And that local that day changed his thinking, changed his forever. He left there, even already knowing what it was doing. He left there with the, oh my gosh, this is so much more than us. This is so much bigger than us. And so that's the thing. You think everybody that's already supporting you supports you fully, but you still need to invite them. You still need to get them there. You still need to bring them. And so that's the thing for me, is that you never stop inviting, right? Like we have continued to invite people, and they say no, or they don't show up, or they don't respond. And then finally they come and they're like, man, are those stories real? I'm like, yes, they're real. So that's the thing. You keep inviting. So this Christmas party, this making gatherings, making socials, even if it's not a Christmas event, guys, just have something. I love that you can do the mask and mimosas. I love that you can do all the different things now, and you can introduce different ways, and you can do breakfast events, and you can do different things, and you can have a crafting party, and you can have Thrive shown at your house, and then you can talk about it. And, like when you have other Thrivers together, that's the biggest thing. Get Thrivers together, but have them invite non-Thrivers, right? Like it's not about, hey, come to this meeting. It's about, hey, come hang out with us. And the more that you can get Thrivers and non-Thrivers mixing and mingling together, the more people see it's not just me that loves this crazy Thrive thing. It's not just crazy Mitzi Thriver. It's, oh my gosh, all these people love their Thrive. So that's it. There's going to be more to come. You're going to see your leaders doing you're going to see your leaders doing lives and breaking down, like Maria's video today about working in your community, the nursing home lotions, all that stuff. So just be thinking outside the box. Get out of your own way. Jump out of your skin. Be like, hey, I want to share Thrive. I'm not going to be too scared to do it. And just do it. That's the first step, is you just have to do it. And thanks, Mitzi. Y'all rock.
All right. Thank you, Amber. Well, anybody else, Natasha, Chas, did y'all have anything to add before we wrap up?
I just want to encourage you maybe this week to spend some time. If you
Bathroom.
don't, oh, can you hear me?
Amber, mute your phone.
Oh, sorry.
If you don't have, if your leader is not local to you, and we've talked about, we know that, sometimes we have to borrow other people's confidence. And so, we don't want you to feel like we want to push you outside of your comfort zone, but we don't want you to freak out and, run everybody off. I want to just challenge you to, while you're liking other Thriver stuff, and as you're, doing Flex Friday, do you know of anybody in your local area? Up the road from me is a sideline team to me, and man, they will put on locals, and I'll just slip in, not even tell them I'm coming, and they're like, you're here, can you speak? And I'm like, absolutely sure, but sometimes I just need to fill my cup. And so, find out if you have other Thrivers in your area, in your community. By me doing events all summer long, there were teams that thankfully they're in my organization, but their leader is in Kentucky. Their leader is in Canada. Amber connected me with a guy that's, 30 minutes from me, and his leader is in the UK. So, find people in your area, because that confidence in numbers, you'll be able to get together and you're almost like, okay, I'm winging this, but you don't feel like you're doing it alone. So reach out, try to see if you have, maybe post something, maybe looking for recommendations, and you can post that area code, or you can put, like if you were looking for a restaurant, you can say, hey, do I have any Thrivers in my area? And you might be surprised. A leader may say, you know what, I do have someone, in that area that I'd love to get you connected with. And two can, start and ignite a fire. So just reach out, maybe post in your event pages or your team pages, and see if you can get out there and dig and see if there's some Thrivers. You may get people that say, yeah, I'm a customer. I've been using that Thrive product for 5 years now. Hey, I'm planning on having an event in my house. Even if they're not your customer, that's one person that could potentially share their Thrive experience. So reach out, look around and see if there's anybody in your area that, you could partner with and say, hey, I'm new to this, but I want to do it. And my leaders have committed to broadcast in and help us. So let's do this thing together.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Chas. Well, that's it for tonight, guys. Thank you so much for jumping on. Get to an event, go to the LaBelle fan page, see if there's one in your area. I know we had a challenge on this the other day. If there wasn't one in your area, to set one up yourself, but just create something, do something to get together with your friends and create that unity and camaraderie within the city where you live. So I hope you have a great Monday night, and we will talk to you guys later, and y'all have a very happy Thanksgiving and enjoy your week with your family.